Hey babies, and how are you all doing? Hope you guys are doing fine. Hope you're doing great. Hope everywhere mama, hope everywhere stewer. Welcome back babies. Guys, do not forget to subscribe to this channel, turn on your notification bell, and also do not forget to give me just leave me a huge thumbs up and then share this video. Thank you. So it was actually an emotional day for Kola yesterday. He said he's kind of feeling moody, missing his family and all of that. And then what's the name? Imisi asked him if he wants to go home. He said no, it's just one of my moody days. That was what he said. And followed up with Imisi said she was actually feeling feverish and all of that, and then she could not even prepare. Imisi is that person that would always prepare the food the both of them would eat, but Kola had to be the one to come through for his friend. He was the one who prepared noodles for Imisi and even later on had to prepare something for himself. That is what friendship should be all about. It shouldn't be one-sided anyways, though oftentimes it's always Imisi doing the cooking. Meanwhile, they had some funny conversation. Even the Imisi that said she wasn't feeling fine, they actually had to do their siblingship bants there with each other. And then Imisi was like, oh, are you leaving me? This one, that one. You know how the two of them do Kola was like, am I your husband? Am I your boyfriend? They were just playing. And then Kola was like, see, you always say you know well. So all of those playing aside, meanwhile, Kola was actually the topic. I keep saying this thing. I said, you see, ladies, there are ways to handle ladies. If men could actually get things like this, if they can do it, you would know that you would get a lady like this without knowing. Right now, why am I saying this? So okay, before I would even tell you guys why, it was the conversation Dede had with Mide. But before we talk about our convo, let's talk about the conversation Kola had earlier on with Big Soso in the daytime yesterday. Kola was actually speaking about his ex, right? Who was actually outside the country where he was based before, and then they actually broke up because he decided to return to Nigeria, to his fatherland, right? And then because he decided to go back, the lady decided to actually day her day now. That kind of thing. It's okay if you're traveling, I am actually doing this, I'm actually doing that. The kind of feeling like that. And then meanwhile, it may seem as though Kola is actually still, feeling, when you still have feelings for your girl and something like that. Yeah, it may seem as though Kola still have feelings for her. And also, when you just relationship that just you just left, and then Big Soso also now narrated her own ex and the current one she's dating, how this one is a blessing and all of those talks. So when Kola revealed that, people started trending it. They started saying that, hey, that's why that Kola would move back to his girlfriend back when he leaves the show. And people tend to forget that he said ex, right? In as much as some exes they take time before they get to forget each other, but at the same time people get to forget that it is ex. But because of they are finding ways to mellow what's the name Dede, or because of that one thing that happened the first time it did happen. Now talking about Dede was having conversation with Omide, was actually pouring her heart to her friend, letting her know that she's actually feeling these emotions for Kola already, but at the same time that Kola is actually growing up so big in the house, like he's actually emotional independent now. That if it's before you would feel him, pacing around and all of that, but he's actually becoming emotional independence. And Bide was like, it is good to let a man to teach a man know how you want to be treated. That was what Bide told Dede. And then Dede was like, she have a feeling that maybe Kola has gone to do cho with whatever transpired between the two of them. And then Mide was like, I don't think he would do that. Even if he wants to do that, it would be only Bright. Bright would be the only person he would have to tell that. And Bright self might not even tell me who is Mide. That was what Mide replied to Dede. And then when they were having this conversation, the camera ensued on them. When you'll be having conversation and camera will be showing the people that you're talking about in the house. And while they were having this conversation, Midina diverts to another end and be like, okay, and now asked Dede and said, between me and Bright, whom do you think like each other more? Who do you think shows it more? And then Dede was like, I do not think anybody shows it more than the other. I feel like the feeling is mutual for the two of you. Like you guys are equal, when it comes to showing it. And then Mide was like, I have a feeling like that I show it more than Bright. And then Dede was like, why is that? She said she doesn't know if it is something she's not doing consciously or unconsciously, but she tends to measure whatever she has with Bright with what Denari and Doris have with each other, right? That with Denari and Doris, you could see Denari everywhere Doris is at. That anywhere you see Doris, you see Denari there. And that is the kind of thing she wants. But she doesn't get it from Bright. That sometimes she'll find herself doing something at the other end. Then you would not even see Bright around her. And then Dede was like, well, before that is what you wanted. And then she replied and said, that was then. But now I feel like I wanted him closer, just like the way Denari and Doris are always with each other. You know, you see Denari doing this for Doris, doing that for Doris, you know. While they were discussing it, Dede was like, truly, truly, it is a sweet thing, the way Denari and Doris are, and the way they carry out their lovey-dovey, the feeling is actually so sweet. You know, they were just talking about appreciating the double D ship. Imagine the double D ship is setting compass for your ships. For your upcoming ships, let's put it that way, you know. So, and then what's the name? They feel like sometimes she gets to do some things more for Bright. If she tells Bright, can you help me do this thing? Bright to be like, do them yourself now. Can't you do it yourself? I did this one for you yesterday. Do this one yourself, you know. But with Denari and Doris, you would always see Denari doing it wholeheartedly for Doris, and that is where that thing Gigi said about Denari comes to play, about him being a puppet or something. That is not like in a bad way, but you could see that Denari is at Doris' service, you know. And while they were having that conversation, Dede now call up on Koyin, who was upstairs, to help her bring his wife. And then Koyin mumbled something, and then they said, you see what we were talking about. We there here, you know. She now said, me, I actually push person wait actually won't do for me within food chairs. Now see the person when they close to me, see waiting they do me. So before you know it, Koyin came down, brought the wipes for Dede, and then Dede was like, no be this one, man, it is the other one. And before you know it, Koyin dropped the wipes on the table and said, go collect them for yourself. As if Koyin knows the conversation they were having already. So when Koyin drops the wipe, and then they started saying, hey, you see what they talk about, so see as our own person they treat us. So I was laughing so hard. I was laughing because I wanted Koyin to do what he did by leaving that wipe and not going to get for them. You know, so people on the social streets, the Koyin fans, they were happy that thank God Koyin did not fall to that trap. You know, that they find man where go they follow them. You know, they started trending it on the social space. As you can see, this is one of it. It says Koyin proving that he is not an errand boy. You know, they were just jubilating. I'm like, what you people celebrate on the social space? You overchoke for now, you know. You overchoke phone. Everybody is trying to guard their fave and make sure that their fave do not lose guard in any which ways, because this house is filled up with top gamers this season. You know, whoever faves that succumb to other person's gameplay, known as Sabio. Anyways, talking about the double D whom they're actually admiring, the two of them at the other end were having their own disputes. You see this life, that's one thing about life. You know, when you see a perfect thing from afar, but you do not know that it is not that perfect. That is, I said I learned so much with this Big Brother show. You know, they were busy admiring the double D sheep, but over there, the double D sheep, they were having their own quanta, their own beef about, I think Doris was complaining about Denari helping someone with helping the person pack the clothes or something. And then Doris was like, see how you did it for this person. If it was I who did it for someone, you will be complaining. And the reason why Doris raised that issue was because Denari was literally pissed that Doris gave Mensan their food. So they had little disagreement because of that. To the extent Doris had to walk out to go bathe, because they continued with the disagreement to the kitchen, because when they were eating and Denari wanted to leave, and then Doris was like, oh, you're not going to help me with my plates, and then he collected it and left. You could feel that the energy was not given. They actually pissed. But after everything, Doris just left and said, does it mean that I'm not allowed to have friends? Are you the only one who is allowed to have friends? Doris now, left. That was how that conversation ended there. In my mind, the only thing I picked is that at least they are having a particular disagreement, whilst these other people are busy admiring their ship like it is so perfect. You know that kind of feeling. So what I'm trying to say, in this life, I'm trying to relate it to real life situation. Nothing is ever perfect. The Koyin fans, even the handler, I saw them putting out disclaimer, okay, let me read this. A lot of viewers are not quite sure or even vaguely familiar with the game strategy that Koyin is playing with this season on bbnaija. He is so smart that he knows that housemates in the house and you out there watching, not knowing his strategy is actually a brilliant strategy to run with. So people are still lamenting about how they should not include Koyin amongst whatever that is going on with Dede. You know, that with Koyin, it is not emotionally attached, that he is just calmly playing his game, that even we the viewers are confused at this point. But you know one thing about this season, do not vouch for your fave. do not vouch for your favor. So the moment you're actually hyping your favor about one thing, they will end up falling in your hands. All right, T Ranking says the moral of Dede and Kola's interaction last night is brush your teeth before bedtime. See their proximity, the intensity of their conversation. They were practically talking into each other's mouths. Brush your teeth. Honestly speaking, don't be lie, because that convo was so deep. It was so deep. Honestly, just talking to each other's faces like that, you need to actually maintain a fresh breath, and that's on period. Anyways, guys, I'm dropping it here to leave the rest for you guys in the comment section. And please do not forget to like and share this video. And if you're yet to subscribe, kindly do so. Thank you. Bye for now, babies.